I've got a major tool that's going to help you. I want to give you some links to show you this. This right here is the Altar of Lilith map. It is every Altar of Lilith in the game, and I will have a link to just the JPEG of it if you want. But there's this website also called Diablo Fans that has basically the data mine breakdown of it, where not only can you see where everything is, including the dungeons, but there's filters, etc. So if you just want to see the altars of Lilith, or let's say you want to see the waypoints on there as well, you can add that in. Now, the cool thing about this is when you hover your mouse over each one of these altar of Liliths, you can see the reward you're going to gain, but some of them have really good rewards. For instance, this one, the Path of Stray Souls, gives you a Paragon point, which is going to be an insane bonus. If you didn't know, you get renown from picking up these Altar of Liliths as well, and renown will actually give you up to 20 Paragon points by maxing out your renown from each of the different zones. So if you go to d4builds.gg and you end up building out your set and you want to see where you get a certain aspect, you can see this in the list, and it will tell you where you unlock it, which dungeon, for instance, you unlock it on. Then what you can do is you can go back to this Altar of Lilith. You can see where the dungeons that you're going to be going early in the game is for the aspect. Let's just say I need the aspect of Night Howlers for the Druid. I would know I'm going here for this dungeon anyway, and I could look and be like, I'm going to mark this one and this one on my map, so I know to grab these two altars while I'm there. This is a good way to min-max your time and save a little bit of effort as soon as you get into the game. But because each of these Altar of Liliths actually give bonuses, for instance, this one right here gives 2 strength, but this one over here gives 5 strength, and if you look at the Paragon boards for your different classes, you're going to notice that each of the classes in their rare nodes are going to have requirements in order to get the bonuses to happen. For instance, I need 160 intelligence to get another 10% damage bonus. So if you're in this build and you're mapping out your build and you need to know how much stats you have, this is a really good way to start planning out. I'm going to get some of my intelligence I need for my Paragon tree from here, and then while I'm at it, I'm going to pick up the Paragon point from over here at this one, etc. So these are really useful tools. Not only that, but it shows you the sellers. Now, here's the thing about the sellers. If you didn't know, there is almost like a goblin rift in this game. Effectively, you can go into sellers, and when you go into a cellar, it can just have a whole bunch of goblins in it. It can be nothing but a goblin-related cellar. We saw this in the server slam, for instance. You go into a cellar, has a percentage chance, and then it's just full of all kinds of goblins. So for that reason, you might want to check the cellars that are near the dungeons to whichever aspects you're going to farm early. This is just a much more efficient way to do it. And you just really want to keep in mind that some of these altars that are farther out or in weird spots, they actually give really big bonuses, like 5 strength as opposed to like +2 of a stat. Be careful if you're hardcore, there is some altars of Lilith within PvP zones. That's what these red areas are. So if you go to these locations, for instance, there's a Paragon point in this one, you're going to want to be careful not to get killed, especially if you're hardcore. I mean, look, here's another Paragon point right there. So there's a whole bunch of Paragon points on the board just to go grab. And this is a reminder, we are only 12 hours away from the embargo being lifted, and a whole bunch of in-game guides. I'm going to have a Druid review is going to be the first thing I'm going to post for you guys so you can see what in-game Druid actually looks like with some footage and a breakdown of how my opinion on it is. So if you're interested in that, now's the time to subscribe and hit that bell as you'll be notified right when those videos get posted. If you're worried about spoilers, anything that will have story spoilers will be tagged story spoiler, and we can't post those till after the 2nd literally anyway, so you don't have to worry about it tomorrow. So go figure out your build, go figure out where you're going to be unlocking the aspects that you need, what part of the map, pair that against where the waypoints are, the Paragon points that you can get from the altars or just the altars themselves, and then don't forget to check the cellars while you're at it just in case you get one of those goblin cellars. For me and Kitty Cat, my companion I summoned as a druid, I will see you guys all in the morning tomorrow.